Welcome back to the piano studio of Lisa Bailey and our series on the circle of fifths. We are cruising right along. I know I say that every time, but we are moving very quickly through the circle of fifths, and you are all doing so well. So far, we have done C, G, D, A, E, B, and then in the last video, we learned about F sharp, which is also called G flat, and we learned about enharmonic notes. This week, we are going to learn another 5-finger scale that also has 2 names. We're going to learn C sharp, also known as D flat 5-finger scale. Let's review our 5-finger scale from our last video. So we were doing F sharp, which is also called what? Remember, it's called G flat. So let's review. So we have our F sharp, then we have our whole step, half step, whole step, and the left hand is the same. F sharp, whole step, half step, whole step. Okay, so now because we're on the circle of fifths, we need a fifth. So here's the beginning. Here's our fifth. So look at this. We are going to be starting on another black key. So I'm going to move this down an octave to the middle. Now let's review one thing that we learned last week that was a really cool concept called enharmonic notes. So this note is a C sharp, so because we have C right here, and if you go up half a step, it's a sharp. Remember, sharps go up. Or it could be a D flat. Because remember, with flats, you go down half a step. So this note, again, has 2 names, as does every note on the piano. So we did a little bit last week about other notes on the piano that have different names. So let's look at another note that would have a different name. Ooh, what could this note also have another name for? We know it's F, but what if we wanted an E sharp? Isn't that crazy? This could be an E sharp. Did you know that? So interesting. Every single note on the piano has 2 names. So let's do another one. What about this note? Well, this note, if we wanted it to be called a sharp, remember a sharp goes up. So here's our note that would be sharp. So it would be a D sharp or an E flat, because remember, sharps go up, because if you put a tack on your chair, you're going to go up. And flats go down. If you get a flat tire, your tire goes down. That's how you can remember them. So let's look at our whole steps and half steps for our C sharp 5-finger scale, also known as our D flat 5-finger scale. Here we go. Starting note. And we need we need a whole step first. Here's our whole step. Then we need another whole step. Ooh, here's our white key. Now we need a half step. And finally, another whole step. So here we go. C sharp, whole step, half step, whole step. So let me play the right hand for you. Excellent. And remember, it's called C sharp or D flat. Now, let's take a look at where the left hand notes are going to be. So we start on our C sharp. We go whole step, half step, another whole step. So we are way in the black keys again because our thumbs and our pinkies are on black keys again. And in order for them to reach, we have to slide the rest of our fingers in there. So let's practice that a few times with your hands separately, like we always do. Practice those a lot. These are challenging 5-finger scales when you're way up in the black keys and you're getting used to aiming and getting the correct notes without splatting. So once you have worked on that and mastered that, let's do hands together for the C sharp, also known as D flat 5-finger scale. Ooh, very nice. You are getting so good at these. Now let's do the contrary motion. Here we go. Excellent. Now, some of you may be thinking the contrary motion is so much easier than when we do them parallel. Remember, parallel is in the same direction. So I haven't talked about this in any of the other videos, but let's take a second to talk about this. The reason the contrary motion is easier is because you're using the same finger numbers, so your fingers can do the same thing. Even though you're using different notes, your fingers are doing the exact same thing in each hand. So let's look at that one more time. So look, we start with our thumbs, then finger 2, finger 3, finger 4, finger 5. So it's the same fingers with the contrary motion. Very nice job. Let's move on to the improvisation. Starting with some improvisation on your own. Experiment with a few different things, and you can pause the video so you have time to do that. So I want you to spend some time on this so you can get used to the improvisation. Remember, there are no mistakes in improvisation, and trust yourself because you are smart and you can do this well. So remember long notes or quick notes, skipping notes, anything you want. You can do the improv any way you want to. Just stay in the C sharp, D flat, 5-finger scale. And when you're ready, come back and we will do the accompaniment together. Here we go. Doing our duet. This duet is in 3/4 time signature. So I'm actually going to give you 2 measures of 3 so we can get into this and do this together. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very nice. We will be moving on soon to another 5-finger scale, so stay tuned in the next video. What did you think about that one? Oh my goodness. All of these 5-finger scales are all a little unique in their own way, and they're so much fun to do. Don't forget to practice the past 5-finger scales that we've worked on because we don't want to forget how those go. And we will continue learning about more 5-finger scales in the next video.